There is an announcement before we begin. It's a Purna Vidya program. Children from the mic is on, but maybe you can't hear. Can we increase the sound just a little bit, please? Thank you. Is it better now? Yeah. Purna Vidya children from the Philadelphia area will be performing after lunch. So I request you to come and encourage them. That will be very nice. How long is the performance? 15-20 minutes? Okay, that's good. So it will be satsang and performance together. So we can enjoy both. You can ask questions. I will answer the questions for the satsang and also 15-minute performance. Can they do it here? Or do they need that stage? You want that stage? Okay, then we need some volunteers during lunchtime to put the tables on the side. And since we still have a 8-week course going on that's not yet finished, that will close on Monday. So we need the same volunteers, please, to come and put the tables and chairs back how we see it right now. Can we have some volunteers to help with that? Yeah? Okay, wonderful. Awesome. Thank you. And now we can perhaps close that accordion door. We can get started. Everybody has had a chance to come get settled. Before the opening prayers, we'll begin with a 2-minute meditation centering practice. Gently closing the eyes. Sukham sthiram asanam. The seat is comfortable, yet stable. Connecting with the breathing, mindful, slow, deep inhalations and exhalations. All you have to do is just sit and breathe right now. Nowhere to go, nothing to accomplish, nothing to run away from, nothing to run away to, nothing to gain, nothing to lose. All I have to do right now is sit right here and breathe. When the mind wanders from the breath, I come back to watching the breathing. Taking the time to arrive mentally, letting go of all that it took to arrive. If there are any preoccupations, concerns that are coming in the mind, just watch them come, watch them go. Remaining connected to the breath. I am not the mind. I am sentience without boundaries. That consciousness without a second. Thoughts rise, thoughts ebb in the mind. Like even various waves in the ocean. Wave is ocean. Wave is non-separate from ocean. True. But ocean is not the wave. Mind is non-separate from I. I, however, am not just the mind. Sakshi I am. The one that watches everything, affected by nothing. This is the truth of myself. Which I have come here to dwell upon. My sankalpa, intention, is for my attention and learning to be free of obstacles. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyaptadehaaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Gokarastvandhakaro Vai Rukarastanivartakaha Andhakaranirodhitvat गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Chapter 2, verse 62 and 63 we will chant. ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषूपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. Last time we saw the meaning of that. These two verses describe a derailment. A derailment of who? The person here. A rapid derailment from all the very values that one has honored all of one's life. A departure from dharma, all of a sudden. A departure from aligning oneself with the pursuit of knowledge. A departure from, in other words, sanity. That's really what ultimately it is. Because with great difficulty, the human life is gained. With even great difficulty, moksha as a pursuit comes up, floats to the top after all other pursuits have been plumbed and found wanting. And with great difficulty, Guru Prapti takes place, the ability to learn, the ability to study, and an institution like this comes to the picture. On your personal radar, the GPS in the mind. And with even greater difficulty, one convinces oneself to start studying the Bhagavad Gita. Oh, twice a month, I think I can do it. Not a big deal. And then suddenly, what happens? Life happens. And what is this life? This life is here. Life is a short form for what we talk about in the Bhagavad Gita a lot, Raga and Dvesha. That is what is called life. Life happens means things go out of control. Things that can be managed go out of control. That is what the sad thing about this is. It's not that things I cannot manage go out of control, because that is in Bhagavan's hands, that's not have anything to do with me. But what is, of importance here is that things that are in my hands can go out of control. When? Why? And here in verses 62 and 63, Bhagavan says, due to meditation, dhyayataha, due to the person meditating. Really? Meditation makes me go out of control. This is the first time I'm hearing something like this. How is that even possible? I thought meditation is that which is bringing everything here to a nice, settling down of everything. And here you are telling me that meditation takes everything, makes everything go awry. Yes, it does. How? Because all that it depends upon is the object of meditation. That is what it is. Because what is the definition of meditation? Sajatiya vritti pravaha. Pravaha, flow. Vritti, thoughts. Sajatiya means belonging to the same, same order. Sajatiya vritti pravaha dhyanam. So, then what? So, that is what it means. Om Namah Shivaya. In the meditation, in the regular meditation, like the kind we did just now. Yeah, you must be wondering, why did we begin with meditation? This is why. This is why. Sajatiya vritti pravaha, meditation. Having the same thought over and over again. And in the meditation, what we do? We give the mind a task to do. Chant Om Namah Shivaya. First thought, Om Namah Shivaya. Second thought, third thought, fourth thought. No. Fourth thought usually is anything happening? How long have you been sitting? Kuch ho raha hai ki nahi? What is going on? That is the fourth thought. Fifth thought, no. Om Namah Shivaya. Sixth thought, Om Namah Shivaya. Like this. So, the mind goes. That it goes is not an issue. Otherwise, it's not meditation. The mind goes. But the mind is brought back repeatedly to Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, again and again and again. This is what is called Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha. And that is the definition of dhyanam. And here also a dhyanam of sorts is taking place. One becomes very meditative, the eyes glaze over. Somewhere diagonally they go and they are looking at something, even in the class. That is how it is. And then what? A fancy comes in the mind. And that becomes an object of sajatiya vritti pravaha. Repeatedly one dwells on it. So that now one is newly minted as a meditator of the objects of raga and dvesha by repeatedly bringing them to the mind. Okay, the first time, the second time, you don't have a say over what thought comes. That is true. Because even the Kenopanishad, the student asked the question, Kene shitam patati preshitam manaha? Ordained by whom? Impelled by which force? Do the thoughts fall in the mind? Because you don't know the thoughts. You don't know which thought is going to come next. Tell me, what is going to be your next thought? Anyone? Yeah? See, nobody is raising the hand. What does that mean? You don't know your next thought. That's okay. But once the thought comes, you know, correct? And what thought comes? I think I need something peppy in my life. It's just so boring. I need to go somewhere. I need to get something. And very soon, what is going to come? That shopping festival is going to come. Followed by Turkey festival. Yeah, useless. Really. And that is, this is what is the whole thing. And so, something, then one is thinking about all kinds of sale. The buddhi is what is really for sale right now, when one is thinking that. So all kinds of sales come. And one keeps on dwelling on an object. Dhyayataha pumsaha, for the person dwelling repeatedly on those objects. What happens? A fondness develops. Sangahateshu, vastushu, upajayate. A fondness is born. That's how it happens. A fondness is born. The more you dwell on something, the fondness is born. And then there also one can stop, because one knows this is a different kind of sajatiya vritti pravaha, a kind of a train of thought. Because in the mind already that object, which could be an object, an event, a person, a situation, whatever it is, or a cause, it can be anything. And in the mind has already dwelt on the object, and in the mind, the object already belongs to you. And then further, you are already spending time with that object or that person of delight, that which causes delight. The person doesn't cause delight in real life, only in the thoughts, because you're having a adhyasa. What is adhyasa? A superimposed reality. That which you are thinking about has nothing to do with what the person is like in real life. That's how people fall in love with celebrities all the time. The moment the name of a celebrity is mentioned, people start screaming and yelling out of delight because, this is who they think the celebrity is in their mind. And then what? Some unguarded video pops up on Instagram and God knows what, and that same celebrity is trodden in the mind. The same mind lifts something up, dwells on it, and then what? The same mind beats up that object later and takes it out of mind. Because I don't want to have anything to do with this kind of a person who has done this and this video has surfaced. So it's all kshanika, in 1 second. So really, the projection on the object is what is the object of the dhyanam, not the object itself. It's a projected object. It's an object that is vitiated by my ragadveshas. So the ragadveshas quoted object is what becomes the obsession here called dhyanam sarcastically by Bhagavan. Meaning that you should be doing dhyanam, but what are we doing instead? Focusing on something useless, totally useless. Why is it useless? It may have some practical value, but it is useless in terms of giving me shanti, giving me peace, giving me knowledge of the self. Cutting the dependency on various objects, it cannot do. And moreover, it is something that burgeons, grows. So first you, quote unquote, meditate upon the object repeatedly, and the object, then you have a fondness for the object. Then because of that fondness, sangahateshu upajayate, sangat sanjayate kamaha. Even now, you can stop it, it's at the level of fancy. But it is so delicious to keep on thinking about it. And then one thinks this is harmless. One thinks this is harmless because, it's my own mental fancy. Why should anybody be upset? I'm not harming anybody. I'm not spending money. I'm not shopping either offline or online. I'm just with my own fancies. How harmful can a fancy be? Fancy that. That is the thought. And then, but the fancy takes a hold over the mind. In the beginning, the mind was the master of the fancy, and now the fancy masters the mind. It's like that, the story of the camel and Muhammad. Muhammad, one man, went in, somewhere in the desert with the camel. Night fell. The desert nights are very chilly in the winter. And so he pitched a tent for himself and tied the camel outside, Muhammad sleeping inside the tent. And then 2 o'clock, somewhere in the middle of the night, camel says, my nose is so cold. Can I just put my nose in the tent? You can have the whole tent. I'm just putting my nose. Sure, says Muhammad, no problem. And then he just turns over, goes to sleep. Then again he's woken up by the camel pawing at his head. What? Can I just put my toes? After the nose comes the toes. So can I just put my, toes inside the tent? All right, just don't keep waking me up. Again the camel wakes up. My neck is so cold. I don't have muffler, scarf, nothing. Can I just put my neck? And Muhammad says, just don't wake me up. I'm trying to sleep. Okay. He's worn out. And then the morning dawns. Cold, icy, desert morning. Camel inside the tent. Muhammad outside the tent. This is what it is. This is exactly the situation here. The mind thinks, oh, this is just a fancy. I'm not really traveling in dangerous waters. This is just, I got it. This is just so easy. This is not really temptation because it's all in my mind and I got it. Trust me, says Bhagavan here, you don't got it. Yeah, you don't have this here at all because this is what starts the derailment. And in the Panchadashi, in chapter 4, Swami Vidyaranya, the author of Panchadashi, a very, erudite and wonderful text on Vedanta Shastra, cautions against this in his own way. Chapter 4 is a wonderful discussion of Jeeva Srishti and Ishvara Srishti. This is very important for us. Ishvara Srishti, this is very easy to see. All the things that are made by Ishvara, correct? This is what it is. You see, whatever you see, everything that is, that you encounter through the 5 sense organs, everything that is given here for us to enjoy visually, in a tactile way, through touch, through tongue, through nose, through ears, all this, eyes, everything, all that is here, known and unknown, that you can objectify is Bhagavan, Ishvara Srishti. And as long as one lives in Ishvara Srishti, then there is no problem at all. I'm just relating to all the objects in the universe as what? Ishvara. And that is what Bhagavad Gita teaches us, to Ishvaraize the Srishti. That is why it is called Ishvara Srishti. This is how to Ishvaraize the Srishti, because that is what it is, it's a fact. All this has come from Bhagavan, and Bhagavan did not create all this and go away, leaving the universe without mother, father, or babysitter. No. Bhagavan is present in each and every object as the very truth of that object. So the each and every object, when we look into it in and through, all we see is the subject. It's non-separate from you, and your body, mind, sense complex, non-separate from Bhagavan. Indweller is Bhagavan. The truth of everything is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam or Satchidananda Bhagavan. Flower is Bhagavan, fruit is Bhagavan, tree is Bhagavan. In-laws Bhagavan, outlaws Bhagavan, everything Bhagavan. This is what we have to understand. And then here, as long as this Ishvara Srishti is appreciated for what it is, and one learns to relate to it objectively, such a person is a free person. That is what is freedom. The Panchadashi talks about this in detail. That is what is called freedom, moksha. But what happens is that the Jeeva, not to be outdone, says, I am as good as Ishvara. This is true, one is Ishvara. But not understanding this completely builds up a parallel reality. Ishvara projects the Srishti, Jiva says, I also can do this. I also am going to project what? My own Srishti. How does Ishvara project the universe? With the help of Maya Shakti. Correct? That goddess who is all knowledge, this Maya Shakti helps the universe just come to be like magic. Everything is magic. You can ask, where did this come from? I don't know. From the tree. And then where did the tree come from? Seed. Where did the seed come from? Another tree, you go in circles. Or everything has to go back to Bhagavan. Came from Bhagavan. How is it sustained by Bhagavan? It goes back to Bhagavan. It is all just, flower is. And that is never becomes was. This is what the whole thing is. And this is what has to be understood. To live in an objective, to live a sane, objective life relating to objects. That is what has to be understood. But the Jeeva, doesn't understand this. The Jeeva says, you can project. You have Vikshepa Shakti, the power of projection. I'm not going to be outdone. I also have Vikshepa Shakti. And you have Maya Shakti? I also have Maya Shakti. Oh, really? You have all knowledge? No. For me, Maya Shakti is avidya. This is the upadhi of the Jeeva. That same Maya Shakti, which is all knowledge and Shakti for Ishvara, becomes what? A mere avidya. Non-understanding of oneself. That is the Jeeva's articulation of Maya. So the raw materials for the Jeeva's projection are raga and dvesha consequently. So this is the raw materials. These are the ingredients for the projection. My own Srishti I'm going to have. I'm going to have my own projections. These people are in this category. I like them. I want them to be mine. I want them to behave a certain way. I want full control. These others are what? Horrible. Why? Because they don't put ghee in the fire of my desire. That is why. These people are out, such people are in, the other people are somewhat neutral. So 3 categories. But really speaking, the neutral category doesn't remain neutral for very long. As soon as you get to know the person, what happens? It either becomes like or dislike. Neutral is just for a little while. That's what it is. So we have this powerful Jeeva Srishti, spun out of avidya, atma avidya, self-ignorance, projected by self-ignorance, a web that is so powerful that one gets caught in it. A web of raga and dvesha coloring the whole universe. The whole universe is filtered through this alternative reality. One is permanently in what is called the twilight zone. This is what it is. Neither here nor there. And so this projected personal world of ragadveshas. Ragadveshas themselves are not, as long as they are managed and as long as they don't cross dharma, they are not a problem. The problem comes because of this, they turn into the raw materials for projecting an alternative or a parallel universe called Jeeva Srishti. Parallel universe. This is how it is. And this Jeeva Srishti and Ishvara Srishti, each one has their own Srishti. That is why it is called Jeeva Srishti. And if one examines one's own Srishti in the light of Ishvara's creation, manifestation, you see that there are so many differences, individually and collectively. Ishvara Srishti simply is, just like this flower is. Tsunami is, earthquake is. So many things in the world is. Is. And what about Jeeva Srishti? Is plus. And what is that plus? That plus is really not a plus, it's a minus. That plus means further a distortion of that. Jagat is a projection of Ishvara. Samsara, converting the Jagat into samsara, is Jeeva Srishti. This is very important to understand as we go through these verses. Samsara is Jeeva Srishti. Oh, what to do? We are in samsara. Samsari, I am very, very sorry. That's what it is. Somewhat sorry, samsari. Or the one suffering from some total of sorry experiences, samsari. So many ways to understand this. This is what it is. Why do you say it is samsara? Samsara, everybody knows it doesn't even need a definition. That which has the power to trouble me, to afflict me. And not just afflict me once, but keep on afflicting me. That is what is samsara. It keeps on afflicting me, it keeps on afflicting me. And then for each one, the samsara is somewhere else. If this person was not in existence in the universe, my life would have been wonderful. If these set of people, we just had the election, each party is thinking, if I was the only party, it would have been wonderful. I could have rejoiced, but this other party is there that has taken all the votes. And they are, for me, samsara. And the other party people are saying, this party is for me, samsara. This is what it is. Meanwhile, the real party is enjoyed by avidya and her brood. Avidya says, party, wonderful. We get to stay here longer in this jagat, in the minds of all the people not following the Bhagavad Gita, not doing anything to take care of this ignorance. This is the whole thing. And so Jeeva Srishti is a powerful parallel reality whose ingredients make one take everything personally. Personalize everything. Somebody is going and then what, They just looked at you. You happen to know them. For some reason they didn't smile. And then what happens? Your whole day goes badly. Why? Oh, they knew me. They disrespected me. They dissed me right in front. And they were talking happily to the other person. Only me. Why? And then you find out 3 weeks later that they forgot to bring their glasses. They just had not looked at you, seen you. That's all it is. And so this is how the Jagat is personalized. Everything that is happening in the Jagat is needlessly personalized. Taking it personally, this, sensitive Jiva, sensitive to all slights and insults. This is the result. This is all that I'm talking about is the prasada of Atma Jnanam, Atma Ajnanam. This is the prasada of Atma Ajnanam, self-ignorance. Self-ignorance brings with it many, many gifts, and this is one of them. Take everything personally. Everything is a slight, everything is an insult, and one is forever trying to dodge what? The slights and arrows of outrageous fortune. Even Hamlet was doing that. This is the famous soliloquy from Hamlet, This is what it is. Everybody is out to get me. I am this poor, victimized, tortured person surrounded by tyrants. This is the personal projection. This is a result of the personal projection where the world, the universe, the Jagat is converted into a place of suffering. Individually. And collectively also this poses problem. Because as long as people say that we are suffering, we are in suffering, then so all it takes is some enterprising person to say, I will lead you out of suffering. Why? How? Really? Yes. How? By appointing myself as the savior. Yeah. By appointing myself as the savior. Nobody else has appointed the person the savior. I myself am the savior. Why? Because you are suffering. Aren't you suffering? Yes, but somehow I have gotten over it. The prospect of taking you out of suffering is making me feel better already. So I have appointed myself as the savior to take you across. See, this is the collective projection of raga dveshas. When few individuals get together, for every group of victims, there is a savior. There is an activist. There is somebody who has appointed themselves to take them out of the misery. This is how the whole samsara grows. Samsara within quotes. Grows. Because people cling to the savior because they want to feel needed, they want to feel wanted, they feel bereft. And what is the truth? The truth is you are already saved. That is moksha. Moksha means what? If you are not free, you can never become free. The moksha is that you are already free, but you don't know this because of ajnanam, A, and this projection, B, anyatha jnanam. The mistake centered on the I, leading to various projections for the raga dveshas to proliferate and create an alternative reality. And this alternative reality is the cause of sorrow, not the jagat. No, but the jagat has bad things in it. Who says they are bad? Oh, come on, can't you see that the fires in California are bad? Yes, they are bad. But then why, if God, these are the questions that come. If God is all good, why is He creating bad things? First of all, who told you it's a He? Huh? Assumption. Because we are only able to see a small little area. We don't know the entire Srishti. The abhivyakti. Srishti is more of an abhivyakti. We don't say creation, we say manifestation. The manifestation is there. And in this manifestation, what is going on, we don't know. Yes, fire is there, and that's partly due to the abuse of human will. We have seen that, climate change, all these things. And then the fire is there, so many people are missing, so many things are going wrong, yes. And there is something, this is a fact. But we say that Bhagavan is not a guy in the sky. It is not. That is not the vision of the Bhagavad Gita, that Bhagavan is some guy in the sky, putting fire somewhere and water somewhere and, ridiculous. Bhagavan is manifest in the form of infallible orders. We don't say Bhagavan is infallible. That's a setup leading to disappointment when the world does not go my way. We say that which is infallible is Bhagavan. Includes Bhagavati also. We don't have this he-she problem. Never have. She is non-separate from he. They are one. And so, Bhagavan is that which is neither good nor bad, simply is in the form of laws. When why these houses were gone? Well, that's part of karma, collective karma. Why these other houses were spared? Few houses were spared. Part of individual karma within collective karma. This is a law, and the law is infallible. That which is infallible is what is called a law, and this is how to understand the Jagat. Unfortunately, mediated by raga dveshas, ideas of good, ideas of bad, ideas of horrible, ideas of wonderful, ideas of what I want to happen for me, ideas of what I don't want to happen for me and for my people, creates this parallel reality of raga, powered by, projected by one's prejudices and preferences, dvesha and raga, respectively. And this is what is called Jeeva Srishti. And talking about Jeeva Srishti, Swami Vidyaranya in the Panchadashi, in the 4th chapter that I talked about, says that the ingredients that keep feeding the Jeeva Srishti, Because then the question comes how to reduce and eliminate Jeeva Srishti so that I can live in Bhagavan's world. That is freedom, that is objectivity. How to reduce this Jeeva Srishti? And he says, stop fantasizing. Simple as that. He calls fantasy, his word for fantasy is manorajya. A mental kingdom where you are the king. You are the king of this mental kingdom. Nobody else is there. And in this mental kingdom, you reign as the king, the queen. Control king, control queen. That's what is the problem. Have you heard the expression? Control queen, control king? No? Okay, this is something to know, because that is, sometimes one who likes to have everything under control all the time is called control king, if it's a man, or control queen, if it's a woman. So here, the fantasy is not under your control, even though you think you got it. Manorajya, a mental kingdom where you reign in the form of imagination, where you reign upon an imaginary reality that you are continuing to spin. And this is the web through which you see the empirical reality, the vyavaharika satta, and of course it's going to be distorted because everything is seen through this web. And as long as the fantasy is in place, even though it looks harmful, it's later going to get you. And so therefore, stop the fantasy right now. No more manorajya, no more Jeeva Srishti. This is the message, a very powerful message of the 4th chapter of the Panchadashi that is informing our discussion right here, right now. It all starts with wrong dhyanam. Dhyayato vishayan pumsah sangahateshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kamah kamat krodho upajayate krodhah upajayate abhijayate. So that fondness, turns into desire, a full-fledged desire. And what is a desire? A desire is that which has now, gained a hold over the mind of the person. And then it prayunkte means it forces you to do something about it. It impels action. That is a desire. Fancy doesn't impel action. If somebody thinks, oh, I'm at this concert and the celebrity is coming and looking at me and signing an autograph, nothing wrong. You're thinking it as a fancy. And then when it becomes, imprinted with the identity of desire, then you start scrolling through Google. Where is the next concert? When can I go? How can I get an autograph? How can I get a seat right close? But then that will cost a lot of money, which I can't spend. That was not part of the plan. Oh, but I think I can do this. You see, so when action is being contemplated, it is no longer a fancy, it's a full-fledged desire. Sangat sanjayate kamaha. This kama is desire. Even then, nothing wrong. Kama is a gift of Bhagavan. No problem. Kamosmi bharatarshabha. Bhagavan says in the later on, in the 7th chapter, I am that in the form of that desire that doesn't go against dharma. Dharma aviruddha kamosmi. And dharma here means all kinds of dharma. Samanya dharma, that which is universally wrong, right. Vishesha dharma, that which is appropriate or inappropriate in any given situation, time, place, culture. And then finally, Swadharma, what is correct for me to do in this particular time, place and situation. So, Samanya Dharma, according to Samanya Dharma, going to this concert may not be wrong. You're not stealing somebody's money, you're going to, this concert, you're just using your own money, no problem. According to Vishesha Dharma, also it may not be wrong. Many people are going, I am also going. This is how it's not inappropriate to go, no problem. But you had set aside that time to spend quality time with your family. Or you had set aside this time to go study the Bhagavad Gita at the ashram. You see? So from the standpoint of Swadharma, it is not correct. So all the dharmas here we are talking about. Dharma aviruddha kamosmi. I am that desire which does not go against dharma. But really speaking, there are very, 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 very few desires that fulfill all these criteria. Pujya Swamiji used to always say, whatever one loves is either illegal, immoral, or fattening. Yeah. Like jalebis, gulab jamuns, donuts. Donuts are definitely fattening. So you can't just, and that's why the donut companies know this very well. That's why this very important company, what is that called? They have taken the word donut out now. Did you know that? Yeah. That's because now it is only known as Dunkin without the G. No more donuts. Why? Because they don't want you to think about the donuts. They only want you to think about this, the word donut and how many calories it has, and you convert that into cholesterol. All this they don't want you to do. Very, very clever move. No more donuts. It's all what? As though. And then you go to the shop. Can I have some as though? You don't even ask for donuts. As though donuts. You convince yourself it's not fattening. And if you still cannot do that, just buy the donut holes. Because then they are not fattening at all, because you're eating the holes. This is how it is. Crazy. So, the universe that is, projected by Bhagavan, in that kamas exist, desires exist. And there are very, 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 very few desires that fulfill the definition of dharmic. Most of them, even if they are dharmic, are useless, nonsensical. I want to buy something. Of course, I'm buying it with my own money. Why? The question is why. And most of the time, if you sit out a kama, it goes away, really. You sit it out. You change the channel. Go for a run. Go for a walk. Just like when you watch TV and you don't want to, you see something that is a rerun, you don't want that. Similarly, the mental rerun of various kinds of fancies, the way to stop it is to just change the activity. There itself, there is a lot of relief. Call somebody, go somewhere, do something different. Not on the same. That sajatiya vritti pravaha has to be interrupted. This is how the transformation takes place. Then the kama changes into karma, action, because I want this and I want this yesterday. That's what the teenagers will tell you. What do you want? Whatever it is. When do you want it? Yesterday, not even now. Yesterday I want it, I want it right now, yesterday. I'm out of patience. That urgency behind the desire is the problem, not the desire itself. The Sanskrit word for urgency is vega. Vega. Kama krodhodbhavam vegam. Yah shaknoti ihaiva sodhum praksharira vimochanat kama krodhodbhavam vegam sa buddhiman sa sukhi naraha. That Oh Arjuna, Lord, Krishna says later on, the one that is able to manage the pressures created by the desires for instantaneous gratification is the one who is the wise person, is the one who can be happy, contented with what they have. That is the person that one has to know and one has to grow to be. And this is what is the message of these verses here. The kama puts pressure. It's like wearing some kind of a shoe that pinches. This is kama with plus pressure. Correct size, all right, but it's not, it's new somewhat. And then all the points, you get a free acupressure treatment. Wearing these uncomfortable shoes. And then in these shoes, you have to give an office presentation. Think about it, you have to stand on stage and start talking about something or the other, give a presentation. And only half the mind is on the presentation, the other half is what? On the various areas of the toes you never even knew were there. This is the pressure. The pressure created by the desire is a constant pinch. I don't have, I want, I'm uncomfortable. Once I get this, I'll be comfortable. That's a projection. And this vega has to be managed. And if this vega is not managed, then what happens? The desire morphs, like even the autumn leaves turning. It turns into anger. But how does the desire turn into anger? When I don't get what I expect. When the expectations are not fulfilled and the expectations are backed by urgency, then what happens is another further derailment. Anger comes. And sometimes somebody is in the way of fulfilling the desire. Usually the significant other. I want this. No, but no need. Why should we get this? No. Finished. And then the anger gets deflected onto the person rather than the desire. Now the object of desire is not even in purview. What is in purview is the anger on the person who you think is stopping you from getting what you want. And Adi Shankara, commenting on this section in the Bhashya, says the person is so angry and so mindless, Guru napi drohayati, even starts to scream, yell and mouth off, at the teacher. And to just show the extremity to which one can go. What is the extreme, to which one, the extremes to which one can go as a result of this anger. And that is what is called delusion, sammohaha, where nothing matters, where everything is just, is just all that is up front and center is that this desire was not fulfilled. Suddenly one is not talking to the adult, one is talking to the incarnation of the desire. What is standing right in front? The angry person is an embodiment of desire. Kamatma. The whole person is just this kama. This is what is it? This is Bhagavan Krishna's word elsewhere. Kamatmanaha, Svargaparaha. Like that he talks about. So this whole person is Kamatma. Whole person is just a burning desire standing right in front. Self-combusting. This is also true. That anger is unleashed, hurts everybody around you, but also hurts oneself the most. And that's why if you go to the doctor these days, any doctor, anywhere, they won't have medication. They will give the medication, but they will say, I think you can do some deep breathing, do some meditation. Because this is an emotional issue. This has to be managed emotionally. How many pills are you going to swallow? If you learn to swallow the pill called life gracefully, then you will not need many pills. That's all it is. Only one pill is needed. It is called chill pill. Ah. Yeah. People are anticipating the words. Very nice. I like that. Soon you'll start completing my sentences. Wonderful. Chill pill. And that's what the teenagers will tell you. Mom, Dad, chillax. This is what it means. Yeah. Chill and relax. That's what it is. So, this is the krodha, anger. And krodha leads to delusion. Delusion is like a, one-way street. You can't turn back after that, Adi Shankara says. When you reach this place called delusion, described in these two verses as sammohaha, that is when there is a point of no return. One is even forgotten why one is angry. One has the object of desire is long forgotten, or even if it's not forgotten, the anger is deflected onto others and oneself. Harmful behavior results or could result as a consequence of delusion. And then what? Smriti bhramshaha. Smriti. Smriti means it's not exactly memory, but it's your own system of values, what you enshrine to be important, what one dearly holds valuable, like truth, like fairness, dharma, other things. You want that, and you have always been a champion of that. But once under the spell of this delusion called sammohaha, one does not hesitate to violate the very practices that one once enshrined, because one has as though forgotten that completely. Sammohaha smriti vibhramaha. One is confused as to who am I? One forgets oneself. One forgets, for example, that one is a leader and whatever one is doing is impacting the people around you. So even if not for yourself, for the sake of other people, these values have to be followed and enshrined. Otherwise, one is either setting a bad example or disappointing the people around you, because that's not what they expect of you. No, I can get angry because I'm not a leader. Well, you are a leader in your family. One doesn't see that. Leader means you don't have to be some big wig. That's not, leader means whatever, whoever in your life looks up to. And if you behave in an incongruent fashion, that is irresponsible not only from the standpoint of your actions, but also from the standpoint of whoever is looking up to you. They are hurt, they are disappointed, and they are bereft of a role model. There's nothing more, what's the word for it? Disturbing than somebody one looked up to because they embodied a few things that you wanted to follow, suddenly lose their whole, composure, lose their value system. And then, one is left without a role model. This is all what Bhagavan Krishna is going to talk about in the next chapter. You may not feel that. You may feel that I am rightfully angry and I have the freedom to express it. But that may not be Vishesha Dharma. Vishesha Dharma means what is appropriate. Because there are people there who are watching your every move and looking up to you for guidance. And so this kind of a delusion, sammohaha, and forgetting this position of leadership, forgetting that you are actually, whether you know it or not, inspiring a few other people, including your children, friends, whoever it is. And all that is going to be disturbed. It's a fall from grace for oneself, surely, but it also causes hurt for others. It has the potential to cause hurt for others. It causes others to not have Shraddha anymore in any leadership. And so, this sammohaha and then smriti vibhramaha, therefore, are very dangerous. Then what comes next? Next, smriti bhramshat buddhi nashaha. Buddhi means it's the last hope. Why is it the last hope? It's the only thing that distinguishes oneself, the person, from a beast. Person has buddhi. The buddhi means human buddhi. We are not talking of dog buddhi, tiger buddhi, cat buddhi. In fact, they are better off than us. They are much better off. Because they live in the Jagat, which is Bhagavad Srishti. They don't violate Bhagavad Srishti. They don't project. They are incapable of projecting an alternative reality and living in it and troubling the universe as a result of it. They don't have desire for world domination. And how is world domination achieved? By suppressing everyone else. They don't have that. In a way, they are better off. What are we doing, We have the free will. And it's as though nature, Bhagavati, has given us all this free will. The ability to desire, the ability to decide, the ability to have goals, ambitions. And what are we doing with this freedom if we behave just like them when something that they want is taken away from them? This is how they behave. And when the person loses themselves, loses the buddhi, there is no composure. Buddhi means the ability to follow dharma. You can't tell a tiger, please follow dharma. Shamanya dharma, ahimsa paramo dharma. You sit the tiger down, okay? Yeah. And you say, ahimsa paramo dharma. Teaching number 1. And then what is teaching number 2? Therefore, drink some wheat grass smoothie. Lot is available. And you need not be carnivorous because right now the trend is to be vegan. You be a vegan Vyagra, vegan tiger. And then you can have almond milk, coconut milk. And then, now they are even, there is a big fight from the milk industry. If it doesn't have milk, how can you call it milk? Yeah. They are milking upon the compassion of the government to relabel almond milk as almond drink. This is just FYI. But anyhow, so almond milk, coconut milk, hemp milk. Yeah, there is such a thing. Hemp milk, all these milks. Soya milk, you offer the tiger. You say these are all the alternatives. After all, you're a big cat. You like milk. Just take these kinds of milk. And you sit and school it. And then what? What happens after that? And then suddenly the person sitting and schooling the tiger disappeared. Yeah, that is one way of getting oneness with the tiger. Became one with the tiger. There is even one poem like that. There was a lady of Niger. She smiled as she rode the tiger. They returned from the ride with the lady inside and a smile on the face of the tiger. That is what? Beast buddhi. At least with the beast, we don't expect, them to follow dharma. If you sit and school the tiger, if anybody is, is silly enough to do that, if someone does that, they have full expectation of being eaten. Nobody will do that. Tiger is meant to be run away from. That's all it is. You can't sit in front of it and teach it anything, and you don't have to, because it is not violating the laws of Bhagavan. It is not projecting a web of parallel reality and getting caught in it repeatedly. And when the buddhi, the ability to discern the viveka between what is important, what is not, what is right, what is not, goes as a result of smriti, and as a result of, smriti bhramsha, and as a result of, some moha, delusion, and a desire that has been, from a small candle flame has grown into a conflagration. Then one becomes as good as the tiger. In fact, I would say the tiger is little better. Buddhinashat pranashyati. One destroys oneself. This is what I meant by self combusts. And therefore what? One withdraws the parallel reality. You need not be withdrawn. You can still desire. But withdraw the parallel reality, this Jeeva Srishti, which is the Jada, the Moola. Moola means the, root cause of all pain. That is what has to be withdrawn. Otherwise, one can be, one can grow to be a great sage. And if this Jeeva Srishti is not withdrawn, even at that level, one can be disturbed. This is what happened to one sage called Bharata. Who was this Bharata? Jada Bharata. Jada Bharata, this story comes in Srimad Bhagavatam and also in Mahabharata, Adi Parva. So there was he was none other than, you remember Shakuntala? Story of Shakuntala? Yeah. And Dushyanta, he was their son, Bharata. And then he was a great monarch, enjoyed the riches, enjoyed family life, enjoyed his children, gave it all up, went to the forest to do a different kind of dhyanam than what we are talking about here. He meditated, he had mastery, he was looking for mastery over the mind, meditated for many years. And suddenly one day his meditation was disturbed because a pregnant deer was running away from a tiger. Again, that's why I say the tiger is not in need of counseling to become a vegan. And it was running, and the pregnant deer was trying to cross a stream which was right by the hut where Jada Bharata was meditating. And then it got so scared because, the tiger was catching up. In fear, it gave birth right then and there in the water and perished, died on the spot, got a heart attack, died. And the Rishi, Bharata, observed the little fawn carried away by the strong current of the stream, the river. And naturally, he went and saved it, wrapped it in a nice cloth, fondled it, cared for it, gave it, the choicest of grass. And it became a pet fawn. That's why it's called fawn, because he fawned over it. Became a pet, and then what? And then, whenever he meditated, the fawn thought it's a daddy. Yeah, it's my daddy. It didn't know anything better. It didn't know what deer is, and it didn't know that I'm in the wild and I shouldn't be here. It didn't know anything. Whenever he sat down to the meditation, he would get a kiss from the fawn. And he would say, and the fawn will say, let's play catch. Let's play this. Let's go, romping in the woods. No, I'm meditating. Again, the fawn would just, try to sit in his lap. And then he would give in. They had so much fun together. Then the fawn grew up. Fawn is not going to remain fawn. It became a deer. And then what happened? The deer would go out to graze and then come back in the evening. Because it was still loyal. It still thought this is home. When it went out to graze, so did the mind of sage Bharata went to graze with the deer. And now the deer is not compelling him to sit and play. The deer is not disturbing him at all. One would think that he would get back to the meditation. Did he? Of course not. He would be sitting, and then what? What was the Vishaya of meditation? Deer. Oh dear, what is it doing? Oh dear me, so late, it hasn't come back. Did it come under the spell of a tiger? Did it become dinner for a tiger? Oh dear, what happened to it? Oh dear, did a hunter get it? And then finally it would come, Habba, oh. And then he would beg the deer, don't go. But the deer would go, leave every morning. And one day he was ready to die. He knew, because of the tapas, he knew that, okay, his end is near. And during the end of one's life, one is asked to contemplate on Bhagavan or the nature of oneself as Bhagavan. But Bharata contemplated only, was able to contemplate only on the deer, because the deer had not come back. And so, thinking about the deer, such a great sage with so much mastery over the self was, left the body thinking about the deer. What happened in the next life? Born a deer. These stories are there for us to see that this is, no matter how strong one feels and how much one is ahead. I've already done Gita's home study once. This is my second round. So this fancy cannot get me. Wrong. It can and always gets one. And so, therefore, down with Manorajya. That is the message in one sentence of the whole hour of study, before the break today. So we'll take a 15-minute break and come back here exactly at 11:35. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.